Hello, everyone, and welcome to Enlightened Conversations. My name is Doron Kutash, and I'll be your host. And our guest today is Destiny Faye Pleiadian. For those of you who don't know Destiny Faye Pleiadian is a Galactic Ambassador, Temple of Peace, Love, and Light, Pixie Creator, New Earth Channel. Her goal is to help co-create and catalyze portals for collaborations to help shift Earth into unity consciousness and to embody the highest vibration of unconditional love. Through Inspire Destiny, New Earth, New You Now Foundation, Inspire Unity Movement, and other collaborative projects. She is currently a member of Visions Coalition, United Earth, Be Well, Source Network, Awakening Sovereignty Collective, as well as supporting Portal to the New Earth Nation, project, and festivals. Destiny is committed to being a connector for all projects and people to live their highest potential and to be in service for spirit in every moment. All right. Welcome, Destiny. How are you doing today?
I feel amazing. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Doron.
Thank you. Thank you. So what's going on? What are you up to these days?
Well, I've had one of those magical days where I've noticed a lot of synchronicities guiding me along, bumping into people randomly, getting gifted jewelry that has a whole lot of spiritual meaning. I'm currently in a yoga studio in Honolulu in Kauai. Had a beautiful morning meditation, some downloading, some poetry, and some drawings that I'm putting together for the oracle cards that I'm creating. What about yourself?
So much. Just was in Ojai, California for the weekend at Tribalize, which is just like amazing, 150 of us came together, like this town council gathering space with the highest solutionaries on stage presenting everything from land use and real estate to grounding intentional communities to permaculture and regenerative to wealth building, wealth accumulation, stewarding, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, connection. It was just a super networking gathering of 150 of us, to be able to see yourself and 150 individuals with the highest projects and that are scattered across the country and around the world, and to really connect and agree that we're all working together on one project and that, it's it. We're just going to ground the communities around the world. We're going to help fund all the projects, and that's it, to bring in a better world. So it really focused it in on one, like the first fractal per se, that the seed is planted with the Tribalize group, and the website has a discussion board and for everybody to continue to collaborate. And it's just moving us towards the big vision, which we're all which you and I and many of us are holding. So, yeah.
Sounds amazing. I'm so glad that you were there. Yeah, I feel really inspired by that, and being able to feel aspects of that here in Kauai. Different people I've met who are organizing different festivals and retreats and different groups, like World of Peaceful Nations and Haliohana, creating like models of sustainable structures and ways to help support everyone all over the world in community. Everything's booming right now. It's all like exploding, like even like what I'm feeling with like different relationships and twin flames and people like bursting into like their divine aspects and having like healing and integration, both myself and a lot of people that I've met. And it really like gives me, I don't know, clarity around sometimes why I've channeled different things. Like, for example, the Divine Masculine and Feminine Rising Summit that's happening at the end of the month, and the New Earth, New You Now Summit that we had, and all these different things. It's like creating this supportive foundation for flow where all of these things are happening so rapidly, where people can have some form of like integration and resource and ideas of how we can transcend what is seen as like challenging in our lower selves, where we're going to have all of these much more innovative, creative ways of doing things we haven't necessarily done before. that's going to support all of that.
Indeed, indeed. And I just, you know, on my calendar, that New Earth New You Now, when you got the guidance and channeled and brought it in and just contacted myself and the co-creators and we just like did it, and it brought together, like, I'd say of all the collaborators I'm working with, like I met them all there, and we just, all of us, you, me, all the ASC members, the New Earth Nation, New Earth Project, you know, now it's Guardian Alliance, and there's just, so it's really fractaling out. But, you know, that was like definitely on my calendar as like a momentous occasion. And what I see it as is a lot of us have been stewarding these big projects, but like everyone says, there's these silos or these islands where we haven't been able to interweave them and to collaborate. But you know, we're getting the full download directly from source. Like, I'm the one to do this. You're the one to do this, and you were able to come in with the you know, because you're, for one thing, being a woman, being having that, like, it's just much easier to flow into these male, you know, holding on to tight project, you know, leader groups, when it's not like two males and they're like, oh, I'm doing it and I'm doing it, and it's just, so it just, you just came in with the strong guidance and just said, we're doing this, I'm including everyone, let's drop the name, let's just be one project, let's work together, and let's rise together. And I just see it as a force teacher came through you, and that's, you know, maybe why you're resting right now, why you're in the next phase, which is just to be in the beautiful islands of Hawaii, and because you accomplished a big mission just with that summit alone, and then to be shown that it's going to be ease and grace going forward, and just like, here's the date for the next one, let it go a little bit, and just like just watch it come together and whatnot. So.
Yeah, and that's why I've kind of like surrendered like any stress or anything about the divine masculine and feminine rising, because for me, my main goal is how can I embody what it's about? And I've got all these other people interested in volunteering now, that it's kind of like, well, it's about sharing. I want other people to get involved in feeling what it's like to create, because from my perspective, everything that I do, I want to be collaborative, and everything that I'm doing, it's not just me doing. Like, if you think about the Tao, it always talks about you're really not doing anything, you're being done. And it's kind of like letting the being doneness, and it's seeing the perfection in the chaos and allowing things to come in its natural way. And sometimes that's crying, and sometimes that's being angry, and sometimes that's, you know, learning about being masculine if you're a female, or learn about being feminine if you're a male. Just allowing things to be as they are, and being able to let whatever you need to know come to you rather than force it to come to you. And Kauai has been a really great like nurturer of that for me, creating balance. Everyone always goes through initiations here, and I was told the other day, usually it takes 2 years. Being the personality that I am, that I kind of like almost seek out the next level. I feel like I've gone through nearly half of the initiations that usually people take 2 years to go through, or they'd go through in 1 year. And I've been here just over 2 months.
Yeah.
So there's like all of these things that I'm like, because I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to like really understand what it is Kauai is here to do, to nurture and to teach and educate us on a higher level. And they say it's like a playing field for training for like ascended masters and for people who are ascending. It's really like a training ground, and you learn different abilities. And for me, I feel like it's the perfect place for me to gain my sovereign status, and the perfect place for me to transcend any attachments. For example, doing the water fast that I'm on right now, being able to feel more connected to the energies happening all over the world. It's like, well, this is Lemuria. And I've been speaking to so many different people, and Lemuria is rising. And from this point, everything trickles to the rest of the world. And for me, I'm like, how can I crystallize myself and be the best amplification and the best embodiment of what it is that I feel all of us are co-creating on Earth, especially being in Kauai, because it's just going to amplify and trickle out everywhere else.
Indeed, indeed. And, you know, I can align with that 100%. I know I'm going to get to Hawaii next. That's like my next big leap. But just my journey that brought me to Ojai, California, and to hear similar, you know, Ojai has similar medicines itself. And I was there for 2 years, and I was in the nest, in the womb. The moon is what Ojai is, like the moon and the nest, and you know, it like being like a space for healing, growth, and transformation. And then the prayers, all the indigenous nations came to Ojai for praying and for healing for all times. And you know, and just the deep purpose. You know, I got a lot of downloads while I was there that Ojai is to be the new Jerusalem, the body of Christ. You know, I just literally on Easter, 144 of us came together, and just, it was very profound. And that is an confirmation for everything I've been, you know, downloading and grounding for the 2 years I was there. And I was calling for this to happen, that to be Ojai, to be the home base for the whole paradigm shift, the building of the resource-based economic system, because it's centrally located between Silicon Valley, the tech capital, and Hollywood, the entertainment broadcast capital, being that everybody that comes together between those two areas is seeking to be our masters of broadcast, entertainment, and education, through technology. And it's an age in which we can reach every human being through technology. We're beyond television, and we can easily go to the internet and hit send, and it can go viral to, you know, billions of people, which then, even if you don't reach every human being, there's still that individual that can take the information and run into the villages and share it, and within an hour. So literally within an hour, one piece of information can change the whole world. And Ojai, what's been said as well, is it's the magnetic center of the earth, as well as the emotional vortex, emotional chakra of planet Earth. Those are two things I heard as well. So I just like, it's powerful for me to visualize if the galactic center is sending out energy, the event per se, and the energy is coming in, it's magnetically attracted directly to Ojai, and then we have an emotional release process through our triggering and whatever interactions we have in just by being in one community, in one area together. And then the changes we go through within fractal out to all our soul families and lineages, and it changes the whole. Just so Hawaii, it sounds like it's much similar in purpose, and we change the whole world just by being ourselves, being here now, in you know, each interaction, and just tuning into our body, and listening, and just following our guidance, and just vibrating high, and holding a high vision for the future, and you know, visualizing it, and keeping positive thinking, positive words, and singing and dancing and playing and laughing and crying tears of joy, and just doing all that. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you being source creator, your highest self being source, your other highest self being Mother Earth. And then just bring them together in that highest self, you know, matrimony. So divine masculine. There we go. There's the
yeah. I do that meditation every day where I connect my heart to source, and then love comes back down, and then I connect myself to Gaia's heart, and then goes back up, and it's like an infinity. Yes. From my heart. And the last few days, the infinity turned into a flower, where it like ripples around the infinity all the way around through my heart, connecting. And then from that place, I just send that love out to the universe. And it's really powerful. So I definitely resonate with everything you're talking about. And it's really, I feel really powerful to know that people with like visions doing similar and different work are at all of these different pinnacle points, gathering the information and sharing the downloads in the places that they are, even if it's just a stranger that they meet and they're sharing a couple of words of the vision they're holding in their heart and they're embodying. And by being that example, especially when it comes to the divine masculine and feminine, and seeing that in like what I was speaking about recently in one of my videos was, you don't need to consider yourself as spiritual. You don't need to be, you know, regularly meditating all the time in order to think that you're, you know, you're rising into the divine feminine or masculine. Sometimes it's just about something really as simple as being compassionate and kind, or, you know, loving with yourself and really like seeing what's right in front of you and being present with what's in front of you. And it can be stuff that's very simple. It doesn't have to be all of this like extreme, you know, limits to go to be spiritual. It can just be the simple things about being human in its best quality, that it's allowing you to rise and to be able to understand things. And it doesn't have to be with spiritual lingo. It can be with anything. It's just understanding love on a deeper level, understanding compassion and community on a deeper level, and being able to share that with others, being able to transcend like the fears that we have inside around, you know, feeling separate and disconnected, and being able to allow ourselves to let that all fall away so that we can feel the truth that we're all connected and we're all one, and that that's where we're moving back to in all ways, in ourselves, in our androgynous nature, and with every other being that's always reflecting aspects of us, because it is us.
Indeed, indeed. And I've just been watching in the past week, you know, I saw you post something on Facebook, and it was like, it was just like very complete. It was very whole. It was very channeled. It was very, every word, every comma, every period, every, it was just a very well put together message. And it just showed that through your journey, like this level of completion and being whole, complete, and being in this beautiful space of Hawaii, and being able to be that, to embody it, and to, you know, like, it's just like, it's like a point of like, yeah, yes, you are a coach and you are all these different things, but there's this opportunity to fine tune it all and package it. If and when you seek to go further into all of that and event production and all the other things you choose to do, it's just more of a like a whole and complete version of yourself, that when you're channeling now, it's just so powerful to be able to, even if you just live in Hawaii the rest of your life, just like Doreen Virtue, and you just put out the messages, you know, just to have your structures in place so that you can just be in paradise and put out your medicine in a, you know, like, instead of every day how we work so hard to create something like the summit, like, to be able to, you know, every month, or really in the future, it's going to be, I'm seeking to build systems so everybody can work 1 hour a year. Like, I see that finish line coming closer and closer with webinars and with Facebook ads and ClickFunnels, and these Mike Dillard and Russell Brunson have made, like, you know, Mike Dillard made 25 million in a few years, built a 100,000 person email list. And I'm seeing it can be very easily done with our whole tribe coming together here around one fun project. And I'm like getting the final downloads of pieces for that to bring that live.
Yeah, very much. And like fine tuning in a really compassionate, loving, innovative way, how we, even in a smaller community and a smaller network all over, are connecting and working and collaborating. And then that just continues to ripple out and create what we're wanting in such a short period of time. And I think the unique and amazing thing about the both of us is we're so strong in our knowing and our download of how effortlessly and quickly all of this is going to just come together, because we can see all of those little pieces and we can see the light in everyone. We can already see how much things have changed in a short period of time, that we can just see that continuing to grow. And I feel like embodying that for myself, and I'm sure you feel the same, is one of the most powerful and inspiring and enlivening experiences, to have that knowing that it's all happening and we don't even need to worry or stress or work too hard, because it will just all come together naturally.
Yes, yes, yes. And it is my journey in a few years in California. You know, I'll say this summit that we produced in 3 weeks or something. That was, you know, I'm used to it because I co-produced the One Love experience in a few months with no budget. And then there was a permaculture tour we produced in a few weeks it was a 1 month tour, and it was magical. And up and down the West Coast. And then there was the summit that we co-created within a few weeks. And you know what just came through at the Tribalize? There are a lot of people that are still trying to do this really fast, no budget creating. And I will tell you, one of the most exciting projects that I have seen now is another one of those. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called Delphi. And it's a mega city that's coming together around Las Vegas. And it's like a bunch of cities. And it's literally, our tribe is buying up all the cities. And it's already got everything already there, you know, everything. And it's emergent technology and solution showcases of everything we've been studying since our awakening. Everything we've seen is implemented already in the plan. And it already has airports and everything, like RV parks and motels and casinos and water companies. And like the vision is to be every weekend festivals, making millions of dollars every weekend, festivals and theme parks and water taxis and everything we possibly want to have in our perfect mega city that we can showcase to the world. Is all in the plans already, and it's people like ourselves already all on the co-creator team. Like there's veterans of like CEOs like that have done it before with like Frontier Airlines to like all the different amazing people that you and I know are already on there. So I let the guy know, I let Sean Michael Brown know, like I'm ready to bring our whole building the resource-based economic system, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of light workers into it, all of our organizations into this, building the city out. And I would love to do it live on the source so that we include every light worker in the world to be able to build this thing out, because it's not decentralized enough. It's like there's their core team, and then there's all the different people that help, but then to be able to say the core council and all the councils are now going to be live, and we're going to include all light workers in the co-creation so that all resources come into the project so that we can say we have a mega city in, you know, the Vegas area that you know is incubating all of our projects, and we all co-own it to be able to show up in the world with a mega super city.
That's so cool. That's so exciting. And it's just like another example for me that sometimes when I'm not able to do the what I'm used to, which is like doing rather than being, when I'm in my meditation and I'm co-creating and visualizing and embodying, knowing that sometimes that's exactly what Source wants me to do.
Yes.
And it's clearing myself out to channel other things at certain points and to be able to raise my vibration because of other downloads that I've received of what I'm going to be working on, that it leaves me in this space of everything that needs to happen is happening, whether I'm indirectly or directly, you know, connected to it, it's all going to happen. And from my perspective, like I'm really blown away by the thing that, because people know what I've done or they've connected to me, and energetically I'm at that space of like peace and love, they'll connect me to someone else who's connected me to someone else. I now have a connection to do with potentially getting one of my books published with Hay House, which is what Spirit guided me would happen. Mm-hmm. Someone in Australia who's like, yep, your book will be directly sent to the CEO and director. And I didn't even plan that. Someone recommended me to someone else, and then I had a chat with them, and then they turned around and got an email right when we were talking from this person, and I shared with them about my book and that's what I was guided. And then they messaged the person back and said, yeah, cool, I'm gonna like send it off to them as soon as you've got the drafts ready. And it's just effortless. You just be in your bliss, and you like send out love, and you take action when you feel like you're you know, it's part of your bliss to take action, and it's coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of abundance for everybody. And then there's other days where if I'm unable to be online, people will show up, and I'm like, this is what my mission is today. It's to like help this person cross the road, or it's to go camping with someone and hold space while they're going through the dark night of the soul, which I know a lot of us collectively have been going through recently. And sometimes that's what it is. So while I was off technology, I was both healing and then learning and being a teacher and a student of holding space for people. And what that meant, where in a way that I was doing it differently, where none of it was necessarily based on the knowledge that I had. I was just being an open channel for what my guides and what spirit was wanting me to do in that moment for that person, and being extremely present. And it's taken me to this other level of what you could say is bliss and peace and surrender, where each moment, you know what you need to know in that moment. And sometimes the planning doesn't even work because something that you couldn't have predicted happens. And usually you always have enough time. There's always a solution. There's always something that will come to you that is necessary for whatever it is that's occurring. And you don't know all of the amazing people in the world and what they're doing and what they're going to bring. And it's a good remember to know we don't have to do it on our own. None of us are doing it on our own. We're all doing this together. We're all aspects of each other. And we're like you and me, and I know a lot of other people are all like, we're on board to help in any way we can. We're here in service. We're here to embody the highest level of love and unity. And however something comes in our reality to do that, we're on board, we're present, we're ready at any time, because we know if it showed up in our reality, it's part of what we're here to do. And we don't need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't need what's going to happen 10 weeks away. We just know that everything's coming together, and there's this massive, beautiful plan that we're a part of, that we're getting to see glimpses of, that we're really grateful for. And it's about fun. It's about bliss. It's about happiness. It's about, that's what embodying heaven on earth is. Finding out what we can about our true selves and letting everything else shed away, and connecting to our innocence. And playing is the best way to connect, because the children of the future will be teaching us what we've forgotten and what we've had programmed out of us, so we can ascend in a much faster way and come from this pure, innocent love.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. How are we doing on time at this point?
I'm not too sure, but we'll let it flow. Okay. I think when I'm told I need to leave, we can.
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
That'll be the time that Spirit wants it to end.
Yes, indeed. So that's exciting. That's really cool. And I'm grateful, extremely grateful that you connected to Lotus and in such a major way that that she actually is interesting. The day before this Tribalize, she saw an Enlightened Conversations multi-host video or whatever. I shared it everywhere. She saw it, and she was like so interested that I said, guests become hosts and hosts become producers. I can get you on tomorrow if you want. I can interview you. And then she was like, oh my gosh, you should come to Tribalize. I'm flying over. Maybe after I could come on your show and come on Enlightened Conversations. And then she was like, do you know Brad Nye yet? And I was like, no, not yet, but I would love to go if it's meant to happen. And she just connected me right to Brad Nye, and I just channeled through the whole source call and of what we're all doing together. And then Brad and I were on the phone shortly after, and we connected at the highest level. And he just said, "Yeah, come here, join, be there." And ultimately, more exciting things. This isn't news yet, but Brad's in, talking to people about a mega festival for Ojai that's media based. So we are the global media network, and Ojai is the home headquarters for the whole paradigm shift. And it's happening. Everything I was seeking to manifest and ground in the 2 years I was in Ojai is all happening. It was great. I got to go back to Ojai to be a part of a 3-day gathering that was like showing me that it's all happening. And I got to like collaborate and connect with 150 of the highest projects that we can now bring into the hundreds, thousands that we have already gathered through our internet, change the world we've been playing in. So like that was my piece, is to bring that macro awareness into this micro perfect event, perfect, grounded group that's done it before, the masters in every area. I was able to see at that event all the best eco-villages in action, all the best financial models in action, all the best real estate land use in action, how Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. There's now something called ICOs, like IPOs, initial public offering in the stock market. It's ICO, and that means like initial coin offering. And literally people that are in the Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies, they're literally a network of good people in there that are literally raising the hundreds of millions of dollars for humanitarian projects already. So all we do is we all get our accounts set up, we get in there and we do our ICOs to announce to the world that we're doing these projects, and then like they all get funded and we implement them all. And one woman, she said she's raised 300 million and she's doing a crowdfunding, a Bitcoin cryptocurrency crowdfunding operation. So, I mean, I've got 150 people to network with now and to bring this to the next level. And yeah, it's super fun.
Well, connect me to whoever resonates.
Definitely.
The funny thing about Lotus is she left and was there, and I showed up at Hallie Ohana to help with a few things that she'd left behind. And she messaged me today for us to Skype to do some video editing I'm doing at the place where she took me to when we met. And there's a lot of amazing things happening there, particularly on the land. I got to meet a Hawaiian shaman who I've been working on his land and learning about the lands. But Lotus and me feel like we're fractal selves of each other.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I've been working through doing this water fast on upgrading my ability to access the Akashic records on a conscious level, because when I channel, I access them a lot. But this is for me to be able to be consciously aware of where and what I'm wanting to access. And also part of that is me learning how to teleport and to work on my astral projection. But recently there's like a download that I got around me being able to connect further to my fractal selves in this timeline, and being able to direct them and help them meet different people so that I don't always necessarily need to be somewhere where they've got what I've got and they can just show up. So if you happen to see someone else that you're just like, wow, this has really destiny energy, it's probably a fractal self. So maybe my fractal self will just be a portal to the new earth. If not, I'm planning to teleport to portal to the new earth.
Sure. Whatever's meant to happen.
Well, there is portals there, and it's all about portals. So I'll just like show up in one of the portals and, do my performance of, here I am. I'm like teleported here, and I'm going to like hang out and teleport back to Kauai.
Nice. We'll just send you we'll send you one of our, I don't want to use the word elite, but I was going to say our elite, super transporter, whatever form it is, whether it's via jet, I'll just, I'm sure we got some jet people in that group that was.
Or you could all stand in a circle and believe to the best degree that I have the capacity to teleport, because of if you're one of those people who recognize me as a soul and know who I am and know that I'm capable of that, and you believe it within your heart, it'll definitely happen. I'll just like materialize in front of you. It's like you're summoning me. You could summon my soul there, and then my body will just follow.
Well, yeah, teach the seminar for that, and I'll share it with everybody. And
do like a crystal grid for summoning and for teleportation, and put it around the thing. Go in a circle. All believe it's possible, and you know what? There I'll be. Even if it's just like a duplicate of myself.
Right.
I could be at two places at once. I was talking to Jonah the other day, and I was telling him about this, and he's just like, yeah, I do that all the time. It's like an unconscious thing at this stage, but I'm working on doing it consciously, where people are like, oh, I really loved your workshop that you did and yada, yada, yada at this place. And he was just like, that's the workshop that I do, but I was never there at that time. It must have just been like an unconscious astral duplicate of myself.
Yeah, totally. Indeed. What's your buddy's name behind you there?
What?
What's your friend's name behind you?
This person, I don't know. But there's a lot of really amazing books inside.
Okay.
There, and I've got there's like a little altar behind me.
Nice. Awesome.
It's a beautiful yoga studio.
Cool. Awesome.
Lots of opportunities here. I started working here yesterday.
Okay. Nice. Congratulations.
Lots of amazing things happening everywhere, opening up the doors of abundance for everybody and sharing it far and wide.
Totally. Let's think what else. Gunnar Lovelace of Thrive Market, based in Ojai. They're looking to launch a 150-person community up in Washington State, Oregon area pretty soon. That would be a festival grounds 2 or 3 times a year. And then to duplicate that, and also education all year round, education center. But then duplicate that across the country for 5 to 8 of those different locations around the mega cities. So he's like really zoomed in on like getting this first one launched, and then it's down to like across the country, 5 to 8 of these festival grounds that are acting as education facilities all year round, communities of like say 150, core tribe, and bring 10,000 plus people 2 to 3 times a year for festivals. So, just another example of it's happening.
Another sign of synchronicities. I don't know if you remember him by name, but I recently at Hallie Ohana connected to Asar. His name's Asar. Yeah. And he told me, he's like, when are you speaking to Doron next? Say hi from me. I keep bumping into him. And then the friend that I'm with at the yoga studio that got me a job, she bumped into him and was doing acupuncture and meditation with him on the beach with a group of people, because she does community acupuncture, and me and her both are going to be working on retreats together and different things, and it's just funny. But he showed up and he's just like, yeah, I haven't seen Doron in a while, and next time you speak to him, say that you met me and say hi, and he just keeps popping up everywhere I am.
Yeah, it was Portal to the New Earth last year.
Yeah, I got him to record a video. He emailed me a video for the promo video of testimonials for everyone.
Oh, great.
So I've got his video that I'm going to be putting together, and I will be putting everybody else's and emailing them very soon.
Great. He was the first one I met at Portal, middle October last year. I'm just going up the hill, and there was nobody there yet really, but he was guided to be there, and then he was guided not allowed to leave, and then this festival pops up, and he's just like, okay, I'm here, and there's a festival, and there's a village immersion, and he just was included in both. He's just a traveler. At that point, he was a traveler, and I think one of the things I told him, because I see people they say what they are, what not, and then I see what they're going to be, and why are you traveling? Oh, see, there you are again. You're not being traveling. So why are you traveling? Why are you traveling? And Spirit, brought him home to Hawaii, and he's stepping into who he truly is, and he's, focused on business, coaching, things like that himself, or how to be, transformed and be the new you type teachings and stuff.
Okay, we're gonna have to end it. That's okay.
So I'm gonna close it out with anything how to reach you and your websites, and then I'll add on your presentation.
Okay. So if anybody's interested in the upcoming Divine Masculine and Feminine Rising Summit that Doron will be helping in the production of at the end of this month, it's the 29th, 30th of April and the 1st of May, which is a special tradition for gods and goddesses. The website is newearthnewunow.org or nenyn.org, where the details, or you can find it on Facebook. It's just Divine Masculine and Feminine Rising on Facebook, and there's the event as well. So make sure you register. It's free. There's going to be some amazing males and females speaking about different levels: tantra, healing inner wounds, rising into your potential, women's circles, men's circles, all sorts of things, both spiritual and not spiritual. So you don't have to be spiritual to be involved. And yeah, just come and watch. And if you're interested in being a speaker, the details about being a speaker are on the Facebook page. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be on it at some point, Doron. So it'll be really amazing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Love you.
Mahalo. Love you too. It's been amazing.
This is perfect. So, all right.
Peace, love, and light, everyone.
This has been Enlightened Conversation. Destiny Faye, Doron Kutash. See you at the summit. Peace out. Bye.
Thank you.